All right guys, welcome back to Unbox Analysis. Today we are checking out something pretty interesting. I bought a pool from TEMU. So first thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna show you guys the setup of the pool, then we're gonna jump into the fun stuff that I bought for the pool. Now keep in mind in this video, I forgot I was ordering a pool in a way, so I forgot a lot of important things such as a pump, cleaning equipment, solar cover. So if you guys are interested in this video, you guys like this video, we can do a follow-up amping up our pool with TEMU accessories. But we have a whole bunch going on here today, so let's get outside and let's set up that pool. All right guys, I decided to buy a swimming pool from TEMU. This is a 15-foot by almost 8-foot rectangle pool, as you can see here in the picture, and price is up here on the screen. So let's get into it. This box is smaller than I expected, but also a lot heavier. This thing probably weighs 75, 80 pounds. Okay, first up we have some type of attachments here. Looks like where we can put in some kind of filters and pumps. That's nice. Plus a user manual. All right, next up we have this box here, which is likely full of our poles and our supports. Then we have the liner. Nice bright blue to it. Now guys, in this review here today, we're doing a lot more than just a pool because a lot of people already have pools or they just want to know what the rest of the water stuff in general is like. So first thing I'm noticing, these attachments here seem to be rubber, but these plastic ones, they're a little crushed here. They'll probably still work fine. I think it's more of a filter catch. Looks like we have 3 different patches here, just in case you run into holes, as well as the sticky material for the patches. All right, for this pool, a couple other things you're gonna notice. I put down some tarps. This is a fairly flat surface, but it's not perfect. If you're putting up a pool, you really want to take steps to level it, which can involve gravel, sand, grading, and leveling. This is pretty level, but underneath these tarps is actually a blacktop driveway. Well, more of a parking lot. Let's just say my house is, it's an odd one. And you guys might recognize this from one of my many TEMU hauls. This is one of the TEMU knives I've been using this thing for over a year now. Still sharp. Still great, still holding up. All right guys, when you open up the box, this is what you're greeted with. I can see some screws in here. These look like some kind of corner support pieces and a lot of these steel bars. Honestly, I'm pretty impressed that this full kit fit in such a small size. Oh, check that out. That's how they save space. They put the bars inside of the other bars and they wrap the internal ones with plastic to make them easier to pull out. That's clever. Overall, the instructions seem simple, but pretty decent. We got some images here. Looks like we're gonna have 4 bars in between, 2 bars here, and then some downward facing supporting bars. There we go. I think the plastic just got bunched up. All right, one more. All right guys, initial setup took about 30 minutes. It's not too bad. Overall, quality feels pretty good. The edges, they feel a little wobbly, even with the supports along the edge. I'm kind of hoping when we get it together, the water's really gonna hold it up. So looking at the inside here, you can see it's pretty good. There are 3 holes on the side for filtration type systems. For now, we're gonna put the plugs in and just test them out. Here on the edges, you guys can see the corner pieces have screws that hold in the end poles. The thing I don't like though is there are 2 poles that connect in between this part here, and those poles are not in any way secured together. They're just kind of held in there with tension. So hopefully that's enough as we get this thing filling up with water. All right guys, we are filling this with a hose. It is going to take a while. But in the meantime, that's going to give us a really good chance to see whether or not it leaks. We're going to be able to keep an eye on it, kind of adjust it as we go. I imagine the way this edge is sitting right here, we're going to need to make some adjustments to its posture, if you will. But so far, the quality of this thing and the fact that it came in that tiny box is crazy impressive. Also, we do have a filter and a couple other things we're going to test. They mount here and here. Now you can see these things got pretty squished in shipping, but you have these pieces. They fit on the inside and they give the internal part of the hose some rigidity to clamp to. So we're going to keep these right down here so I don't lose them, because that's kind of something I would do. All right, so guys, you saw the setup of the pool. Now, after we get through this stuff, we're gonna be checking it out. We're gonna see how good it is. We're gonna make sure it's not leaking. And maybe we'll even, throw a kid in it or something. That's what people do with pools, right? All right, so let's start on the small side. So, what's a pool without some goggles? Pick these guys up right here. Prices on the screen, you guys know how we do it. Quality feels pretty decent. One single piece of plastic right here. Now we gotta try them on, right? All right, guys, what do you think? New style thing going on here. Looks like they come with a couple of nose or ear plugs. Either way, no, that's weird. I'm not doing that. Sorry, guys, not testing that one. Overall, I just want to give you guys an idea on what the pool stuff is going to be. These feel like they seal pretty good, but keep in mind here towards the end of the video, we're going to be testing all of this stuff out in the pool, if it holds water. We'll see. We're gonna go through this stuff kind of quick because, like I said, we're testing it all outside. So we're just gonna kind of jump through it, give you guys a brief look, and then we'll test it all in the pool. Next up, thought it'd be kind of fun to pick up a little solar fountain. You can see right here, it is a 3.5 watt. There's the name of it, solar fountain pump. So this stuff doesn't exactly err on the side of needed or useful. Some of it, mostly just fun. So the bottom here looks, we have our little 3.5 watt pump. Okay, I see. When you touch this sensor, it turns on the pump because it thinks that it's in water. So you're not gonna hear that, but that's interesting. See right here on top, it's got the solar panels, got a couple of attachments that go to it, and instructions. Nice, let's slap it together real quick. All right, we're gonna start off by saying this thing has a bigger instruction manual than half the stuff I bought for 10 times more on TEMU. Like, I bought things for hundreds of dollars on TEMU, like my scooter. Yeah, guys, if you guys want to see a scooter, an electric scooter that does 50 plus miles per hour and costs under $1,000, make sure to get subscribed. That one's coming next week. Look, I've been testing it for about a week now. I'm going to tell you that thing is wild. All right, we can see there's a lot going on here. Let's just let's slap some parts together. All right, so jumping right into it, it looks like you can set it up in a whole bunch of different ways. Now, what's really weird to me is it comes with these straws, but from what I can tell in the instruction manual here, it doesn't even include those in the parts diagram, so I'm not sure what they're for. Really not sure. Maybe there's a way to suction water from somewhere else. Well, we're gonna run it just like the instruction manual showed. You have a bunch of different options on there that change the direction of the jets and stuff like that. Looks like it could be a cool little addition. Plus, depending on the water it moves, it's always good to have a little bit of movement in a pool, kind of keep things moving around. Generally, a pump is good for that. So this isn't gonna do much, but it might do something. Oh, this? You guys wanna see? No, this is last. This is the Vector Lumen Mini Series Speedboat. it looked like fun. We'll check that out here in a bit. All right, guys, this right here. So anybody who's ever had a pool before knows that keeping bugs and gunk out is the hardest part. So they actually had this specifically on there for that. But I'll tell you, this is a weird feeling material. This just feels like really thin plastic, but we're gonna try this thing out. It was way bigger than I needed, but the exact size I needed didn't exist. But it looks like the mesh will work pretty well. We'll see how it holds up. So that's gonna be the unboxing for this. Obviously, we'll test this on the pool later. Now, of course, we gotta test some tech in this pool, right? So coming up next here, we have the SW4 Floating Speaker Light. This is a Bluetooth speaker that's meant to float in the top of the pool or wherever you happen to be and play music. It apparently has an IPX7 rating, so pretty well waterproof. All right, jumping inside, got the charging cable, USB Type-C. You guys know I like that. Got ourselves a bit of an owner's manual here. IPX7 floating speaker. It's going to have some Bluetooth 4.0 functionality with buttons and controls right on top. Then here's the actual unit. Active warranty. In all fairness, good luck with warranties with things sold on TEMU. So right here, first warning, you want to keep this plug dry. It does seem to have a pretty, I hate that. I hate when stickers don't come off products. That's horrible. All right, so right here we have the water plug. Actually, it's a pretty decent looking one with its own built-in silicone strap. And then tucked right down in there is your charging port. Okay, turn it on. It's got some lights on top, a little bit of beeps going on, different light modes. Again, this thing isn't going to be crazy bright. It's kind of just meant to be there, hang out, have some music playing. So we'll be testing this outside. How it sounds in here doesn't really matter because when you're outside in a pool, it's kind of a different sound stage. I want to see if this thing sounds any decent when we're out there. Just a quick caveat here. It's kind of hard to see, but there's these little tiny black fibers everywhere right now from the cover. So if this thing is just going to throw a bunch of fibrous material into the pool, that's going to be a bad day. That's not going to be fun. All right, now, next up, we have what's probably my favorite haul for this portion, an electric boat. Now, this isn't some crazy high-end 60-mile-per-hour electric boat, but hopefully it's pretty fun and runs pretty good. So it's called the Vector Lumen by Volantex RC. Now, it does say that it has 30 kilometers per hour top speed. That would be pretty impressive if it does, but who knows? I've never messed with electric boats before. If you guys want to see me do some kind of electric boat haul from TEMU, let me know down below, seriously, because it sounds fun to me. All right, first up, we have ourselves an owner's manual. Looks like it's for 2 different models here. Packaging seems pretty decent. Old school hard foam. Does come with the AA batteries by ABG. Super. Guys, these are super heavy duty. Oh no. Important, must read. I read it, we're done. Okay, all right, we'll look at the back. Do not use in salt water. If you do, wash the product. After use, disconnect battery, drop the components completely, keep the cover open, place the boat in a dry space. So basically what they're saying is it's probably mostly waterproof, but if you want it to actually keep working, it's gonna be better to dry off multiple parts after use. Probably pretty good advice by anything. So it looks like here's our battery cover right here. I mean, it's not very big. I'd say about 12 inches across. Turn this little knob here. Oh, okay. It was kind of stuck in there because if you look, it has a sealed gasket, a foam gasket that goes around the outside. It can keep the water out. Then inside we have our internals. So right here we have our little wireless transceiver controller. Looks like we have our charging adapter here in our battery connection. Then you have the motor located center. That's pretty thoughtful with a product like this. That way it keeps the weight centered, helps the boat kind of plane out at higher speeds. Then you have a servo controller right here in the back that's going to control your rear rudder. I mean, it's simple, but it appears to be built pretty well. All right, jumping in next, we have 2 500 milliamp hour batteries. Maybe 500 milliamp hours, who knows? They are lithium ion. Have yourself a little tool with a spare propeller. Check that out right there. Then you have your USB lithium ion charger, 7.4 volt, 800 milliamps. So it's got the 4-prong adapter that attaches to the batteries. Then we have ourselves a pretty typical RC controller. It's kind of funny that the center of the RC controller shows a car brake rotor. Looks like on the side we have a few different switches for trim, drive, another type of trim. Yeah, pretty basic. I mean, it feels cheap. I mean, the whole boat was pretty cheap. So if it's fun and it lasts a little bit, it'll probably be pretty worth it. So next up, you know, I had to buy something else with a light. This is a floating ball with a light in it. Pretty simple. Let's get it aired up. Pretty basic idea, just a fun idea for the water and at night. Have yourself a little RGB controller here. Let's get the sticker off. Looks like it comes with a CR2032 battery. Pretty simple, but inside of here, oh, it actually comes with two CR2032s. It also has a paper separator, so it stops it from wasting the batteries on accident while it's in transit. All right, so it looks like you give it a light turn to turn it on. So this definitely could have easily drained all of its batteries. I mean, brightness-wise, it seems decent here, but now we have to get it into that hole, which isn't quite. I guess we'll just, oh, all right. Well, you just force it. That is not going to be easy to get out. I mean, it's lighting up the whole ball. Pretty cool idea. So we're going to turn that off for now. Let it stay up. Now, let's go outside. Let's check out that pool. Let's get an in-depth look at the pool. Make sure it's not leaking. Check out a couple of the connections. And then we're going to test out some of our stuff here. So the ball, it's pretty simple. It's going to float. So let's go ahead and jump into the Bluetooth speaker. All right, so for starters, we have an on button right here. Turn it on, makes a nice little noise. Then we're gonna go ahead and connect it in Bluetooth. It shows up in Bluetooth as swimmer. Okay, so it seems to float. It's pretty loud. I mean, you're not gonna get the best quality out of it, but you'll be able to hear it all the way across this pool. Now, I'm curious, like, how waterproof is it?
2 videos ago. So everything you need is inside the bag.
These work pretty good. We're gonna leave it playing. We're gonna run it. I'm gonna give my final video update probably, you know, tomorrow or in a few days, because I want to really run the pool through some tests. So make sure to stick around to the end, guys, so we know if there's any leaks in the pool, if there's any issues with it. Okay, next up we're gonna be testing the little fountain. It's just something kind of cool. It's definitely neat how it has this water sensor right here, and I can feel it buzzing as soon as that makes contact with me. So let's test it out. Okay, it's a little lackluster. It's kind of sad. Oh wait, it's going. Hold on. All right, it might just take a minute. Look, it's kind of cool. It's just a novelty thing, just a cheap little fun toy. But the fountains are definitely not coming out like they showed in the video. I mean, let's make sure it stays in the sun here. Let's pop off one of these caps, see if it does any better. I mean, it moves water. It's kind of cool. All right, so the RC boat itself, it doesn't seem to have an on-off switch. So it's kind of on when you plug the battery in. So, get the battery plugged in. Let me turn the remote on. And I guess we just kind of stuff it inside. I'm going to stick it up front so it doesn't get in the way of the servos. Now, I imagine it's going to be extremely important that you get this lid back on tight. So, get it in there, turn and lock it. Let's give it a little test spin. I'm not quite sure why, but turning one direction, the servo, she kind of gets stuck turning the other way. So it turns to the right a lot better than it turns to the left. But look, guys, if you guys want a fun toy for your kids in the pool that's not going to be dangerous, this thing's pretty cool. Now, is it going to last long? Probably not. It does go in reverse, but the reverse isn't crazy strong. But that's a surprisingly strong little propeller on that thing. All right, guys, we're gonna spend probably about a week testing this pool out. We're gonna kind of be a little rough on it because I want to know, is this thing really gonna hold up? It's cheap. It's under $200. it's pretty much complete. Now there are a couple more things to show you. Come over here. These right here are where I'm gonna hook up the pump. Now I didn't showcase the pump in this video because the ones on TEMU, for some reason, were like hundreds of dollars. So I did order one off Amazon for this part. So I'm not gonna show you guys that right now. But this is gonna go on the inside. This is gonna stop junk from getting in there. And the pump's gonna hook up out here. So that will be hooked up and tested, but it's not gonna be featured because it's not TEMU. We're here for the TEMU haul, right guys? All right, guys, I'd say we've had the pool about 7 or 8 days now. Sure. Let's talk about the negatives, all right? Right up front, it's not super deep. I mean, come on, guys. I'm sitting in a chair, and it's up to my waist. But I'm going to tell you, for the price on this thing, this thing is awesome, okay? The kids have been in this thing every day. It's low, so it's not hard for them to get in and out of because, well, pool ladders are kind of expensive. I was going to order a pool ladder for this video, but the price is $150 for a pool ladder, even from TEMU. Didn't make much sense. So the pool itself, I mean, the construction on it, surprisingly good. There's no leaks anywhere around. There's no issues with any of the drainage systems. The setup goes up really easy. Now, if you take a look at the edges here, this part was a little surprising. When I was putting this together, I thought there was something wrong because there's kind of a curve going from the longer edges that run parallel to each other. They kind of curve in a bit. But from a lot of the reviews I can find online, that seems to be about what it's supposed to do. Basically, all of it's held together with metal and plastic. The corners themselves are mostly plastic. There is a metal bar that runs from the side to the side, all across. So basically almost a full square rectangle of metal. It feels solid. The ground here was not perfectly smooth, and it's handling it no problem. I will say this though, I did go with an Amazon filter just because I wanted to put some filter on this because I actually plan on using this, guys. The kids love it. I've been out here a bunch of times. It's just nice because it doesn't take up a lot of space and it's very inexpensive. The side filters that go in before the pump, the ones that came with the Amazon pump, do not fit, but the TEMU ones do, and they actually catch quite a bit of stuff. As far as the little Bluetooth speaker, this thing has basically been in the water and underwater, and it still works. You can see the lights on right now. Again, not the craziest of sounds, guys. This thing, you know, this is a cheap TEMU Bluetooth speaker that floats and is waterproof. It works. I don't know if you guys can see it right there. That is the little fountain. Sun's going down a bit. It is still just kicking away. You know, it's a little gimmicky. If I went back, I probably would have ordered something different, but it works. It does what it's supposed to. I don't think it's gonna agitate the surface in any way to help you with a fish tank or anything like that. I don't think it's really gonna put much oxygen back in there. I think that's kind of the intended purposes of a lot of fountains. It's more of just a little solar gimmicky toy, basically. Yeah, so guys, let me know what you think about this video. Are there some other things I should try with this pool? Do you guys want to see some other stuff similar to pools or water equipment? We got tons of lakes here. I'll tell you this, I'm already ordering a kayak. I've had a ton of requests since the camping video, so believe me, that is coming. Also, just a quick note, the cover itself, it does not feel like it's gonna last very long, but if you just need a cheap cover to keep the weeds and the tree leaves and all that kind of stuff out, it works. It totally works. It's not gonna heat the water up any, but considering this pool holds about 2,000 gallons of water, if you have some decent direct sunlight, it's only gonna take a day or two to actually get it to a comfortable temperature. It did not take long at all. All right, guys, that's gonna be about it for this video. If you guys wanna see any more stuff like this, any more pool type stuff, let me know. You guys have a specific pool you want me to try? well, I guess I could always put one next to it. So appreciate you guys for watching to the end. Until then, we'll see you guys on the next one.